Welcome back, everybody. Ready to dive into something really cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. So today, we're going to get into what it really means to have like a well-architected system on AWS.
Right on.
We hear that phrase a lot, but what does it really mean? Kind of like, if you were designing a building, you want it to be, beautiful, but also like functional.
Right. Absolutely. Form and function. It's the same thing in the cloud.
Totally. So we're talking like blueprints for success in the cloud. And the
Yeah.
best part is this isn't just for like hardcore techies.
Nope, not at all.
This is for anyone who uses technology.
Yeah. Whether you're a business owner trying to, understand your website or a student just starting out building an app.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So AWS, they have this thing, the Well-Architected Framework.
Right.
So what is that exactly?
Basically, it's a set of best practices,
Mhm.
kind of like a collection of all the wisdom and experience from thousands of successful AWS deployments.
I got it.
And it's all distilled down into 6 core pillars. Each one focuses on a crucial part of building really robust and efficient systems.
It's pillars, huh?
Yeah, 6 pillars to hold it all up.
That sounds pretty solid.
It is, and they're all interconnected too, which is super important.
Okay, so where do we even begin with all this? Like, which pillar do we tackle first?
Well, I think a good place to start is operational excellence.
Okay, operational excellence. What does that even mean?
Think of it like this. You know how you wouldn't want a car that breaks down all the time?
Right, definitely not.
Operational excellence is all about building systems that run smoothly, minimal downtime, maximum efficiency.
Okay, so that's like the dream.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's achievable. Think systems that can like heal themselves,
Oh, wow.
automatically recover from hiccups. And we're also talking about proactive monitoring, catching issues before they become like major fires.
Oh, that's smart. So it's not just about keeping the lights on.
Right.
It's about keeping things running, like, optimally.
Exactly. Like a well-oiled machine.
Gotcha. So smoother operations, happier customers, ultimately a more successful business.
100%.
Okay. I'm sold on operational excellence.
Yeah.
But what about security? I mean, that seems like a big deal, especially with all the, headlines we see these days.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where our next pillar comes in, security.
Okay, so security, pillar number 2.
This one's about building security into every single layer of your system from the very beginning. Protecting your data, your apps, your whole infrastructure from, well, you name it.
Unauthorized access, data breaches, all the scary stuff.
You got it. It's about having a multi-layered approach to security.
Okay, so it's got to be more than just like a strong password.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We're
Yeah.
talking things like encrypting your data, like both at rest and when it's moving around,
Okay.
and controlling access with like really specific permissions, who can see what.
Right. So not just anyone can get in.
Exactly. Exactly. Plus, you got to have really good security monitoring, like plans in place to deal with incidents if they do happen.
So it's kind of like a bank vault, with multiple
Yeah.
layers of security.
You got it. That's the level of protection we're going for.
That's a good analogy. It makes it really clear.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, if I were a certified solutions architect, wouldn't security also involve, choosing the right AWS services right from the get-go?
Absolutely. You are spot on.
Like, are there specific services that are better for security?
Yeah, there are a ton of security-focused services on AWS, like Identity and Access Management, or IAM,
Okay.
that helps you control who has access to what. And then there's Key Management Service, or KMS, for managing your encryption keys.
Right. I've heard of those.
And there's even AWS Security Hub, which gives you a bird's eye view of your security posture, like how secure are you overall.
Wow.
So, yeah. By using these services the right way, you can build a super secure fortress in the cloud.
Like a fortress in the cloud. Wow. That's pretty reassuring. But what happens if, even with all our best efforts, something does go wrong? I mean, things happen, right? Isn't that where reliability comes in?
You're absolutely right.
Reliability, that's another pillar.
It is. It's all about building systems that can gracefully handle failures and bounce back quickly, like a safety net for your cloud infrastructure.
Okay, a safety net. I like that.
This means designing systems with redundancy, so if one part fails, another can seamlessly take over.
Okay, so it's like having a plan B and even a plan C, just in case.
Exactly. Now imagine a big retailer's website crashing during a huge sale.
Oh, that would be a disaster.
Right. They'd lose tons of money, damage their reputation, and frustrate their customers. But reliability makes sure that even if one part of the system stumbles, the show goes on.
Wow, that's a great example. I get it now. So far, we've got smooth operations, we've got rock-solid security, and the ability to weather any storm.
Hmm.
What's next on our well-architected checklist?
Well, next up we have performance efficiency.
Performance efficiency. Okay, tell me more.
This is about squeezing every ounce of performance out of your cloud resources, but without wasting anything. It's like having a finely tuned engine, powerful, responsive, and fuel efficient.
Oh, I like that analogy. Nobody wants a gas guzzler in the cloud.
Exactly. So how do we get that efficiency?
Yeah, how do we?
It starts with picking the right services for the task. I mean, AWS has a ton of services,
Yes.
right? Each one optimized for something specific.
Right, right. So choose wisely.
Exactly. Then it's about right-sizing your resources, using only what you need when you need it.
Don't overspend.
Yep.
Right.
And of course, we got to keep an eye on things. Continuous monitoring is essential to find any bottlenecks and, areas we can tweak for better performance.
So it's not just about throwing more resources at a problem.
Yep.
It's about being, smart and strategic with what you're using.
You got it. Let's say you're building a website that gets a lot of traffic during certain hours. Instead of running powerful servers 24/7, you could use a service like AWS Lambda.
AWS Lambda, okay.
You can run your code without having to manage servers, and you only pay for the compute time you actually use. That's performance efficiency in action.
That's brilliant. So optimizing both performance and cost. Right. Which brings us to our next pillar, cost optimization.
There you go.
Because let's be real, nobody wants to overspend on those cloud bills.
No one wants to see a giant bill.
Exactly. So tell me, what is cost optimization all about?
It's all about being a savvy cloud consumer, getting the most value for your money. It's not just about being cheap.
Right.
It's about making smart decisions about your cloud spending.
Okay, so it's like being a financial planner for your cloud infrastructure.
You got it. You wouldn't just throw money into investments without a plan, right?
I do.
Same thing with the cloud. You need to know where your money's going, find places to cut back,
All right.
and pick the most cost-effective services for what you need.
Makes sense. And I'm guessing, thinking like a certified solutions architect again, that AWS has tools to help with this, right?
Right.
I mean, it's good for them if we're spending wisely too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They've got a bunch of cost management tools like AWS Cost Explorer,
Okay.
gives you a super detailed breakdown of your spending, and AWS Budgets helps you set up alerts,
Oh, nice.
so you don't go over budget.
That's smart.
There's even AWS Trusted Advisor, which gives you recommendations on how to optimize your resources and save money.
So it's like having a whole team of financial advisors looking out for your cloud budget.
Exactly. They got your back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about efficiency, being smart with resources. Doesn't that tie into a bigger conversation about sustainability?
Absolutely, it does. And that leads us perfectly into our sixth and final pillar,
Okay.
sustainability.
Sustainability. Now, that's not something you'd immediately think of when talking about the cloud.
You wouldn't, but it's super important.
Yeah, totally. So how does sustainability fit into the well-architected framework?
Well, it's about recognizing that sustainability is a shared responsibility
Sure.
between AWS and its customers.
Got it.
AWS is doing their part to run their operations in an environmentally friendly way, using renewable energy and reducing their carbon footprint.
That's great.
But as customers, we got to do our part too,
Right.
by optimizing our resource use and choosing services that align with our sustainability goals.
So it's like a partnership,
Exactly. We're in this together.
working together to build a more sustainable cloud ecosystem.
That's the idea. It's a team effort.
I love that. But how do we actually do this? What are some concrete steps we can take?
One key thing is choosing the right services. For example, serverless computing like AWS Lambda can seriously cut down on energy consumption.
Oh, right. We talked about that earlier.
Exactly. With Lambda, you only pay for the compute time you actually use, unlike running servers 24/7 even when they're not doing anything.
That makes a lot of sense. It seems like a lot of these pillars actually work together,
They do. They do.
Like optimizing for performance can also save you money, A&D, reduce your environmental impact.
You got it. That's the beauty of the well-architected framework. It's a holistic approach.
Right.
It's not just about making things work. It's about making things work well and responsibly.
Okay, so we've covered all 6 pillars: operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, cost optimization, and sustainability. That's a lot. But what's the main takeaway for our listeners? How can we sum all this up into something actionable?
I think the key is to remember that these pillars aren't just some abstract ideas.
Yeah.
They're practical guidelines that can help you make smarter decisions about your cloud architecture.
Right.
Whether you're building a simple website or a huge enterprise platform, the well-architected framework can help you succeed in the cloud.
It's like having a compass,
Right.
to guide us through this complex cloud world.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, it's flexible. You can adapt it to your specific needs and what's important to you.
That's really helpful. This deep dive has been super insightful. But before we wrap up, what's one last thought-provoking question we can leave our listeners with?
I think a good one would be, now that you understand these 6 pillars, how would you approach building a system in the cloud differently? What trade-offs would you consider? What would be your top priorities?
Ooh, that's a great question. It really makes our listeners think about what they've learned and apply it to their own cloud journey.
Exactly. At the end of the day, the well-architected framework is all about giving you the knowledge and tools to make the best decisions for your cloud projects.
All about empowerment, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's about giving you the power to make smart choices and build awesome things in the cloud.
Well, I feel like I've definitely learned a lot today about what it means to build uh, well-architected systems. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure. Always happy to share what I know.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it valuable and maybe even a little bit inspiring. Remember, whether you're a seasoned cloud pro or just starting out,
Doesn't matter.
the AWS Well-Architected Framework can be your guide to building those secure, efficient, reliable, and sustainable systems in the cloud.
All those good things.
All the good things. And hey, don't forget the most important part.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Have fun. Building in the cloud should be like a creative and rewarding experience.
It definitely should be. So keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep building amazing things.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, happy building, everyone.